Well, Lord, they make me look great, as always. First, I want to just say thank you guys for having me. It's an honor to be up here, to have this voice, to impact, to tell my story, and to make sure that all of you out there listening know that you are capable of anything, no matter where you come from. Yes, I served in the United States Marine Corps 5 years, active duty, as a military police officer. And proud to say that not only did I get my college degree while active duty, I also started a construction company in my town. And then I was also the only female on a SRT, which is a SWAT team for military police. So those are all very proud things, but it took a lot, and I mean a lot, to get there, to become not only a military police officer, to become a Marine, to become a college graduate, to start a company, to be on that SWAT team. And I'm proud of it, but it took a lot to get there. So now I know you guys have heard a lot of motivation over this time so far, but there are 3 words that I'm going to reiterate while I'm up here. I want you to write them down. So as you're listening, go ahead and take pen and a paper, and I want you to write these down, because these are words that I use every single day for everything that I do, not only as a veteran, not only as a WWE superstar, not only as a mother, not only as a wife, but as a motivator and as a human being with goals and dreams, okay? The first word is going to be mindset. I'll give you a second to write that down. Very important, and I'll tell you why. I'll show you how I use these literally every day, from the minute I wake up to get a cup of coffee to when I go to bed at night. First word's mindset. The second word is success. And the last word, and it's my favorite word, is break the cycle. I use hashtag break the cycle. So yeah, write those 3 things down and remember them, because we're going to bring them up in this next 10 minutes that I have with you all. And they're important. And like I said, they're literally like my roadmap that I've used since I was very small. As a child growing up, I was born in Georgia, and it's crazy to think that a child coming from a broken home could end up in this position I am today. The mother, the role model, the WWE superstar, the wife, the strong, confident, motivated woman that I am today, because I had a lot of struggles. My parents suffered with addiction and depression, grew up in a broken home with lots of siblings and no money, and I just looked around as my family is literally falling apart from the drugs and from the mental health and the anger and the depression. And every day, even as a child, I look around and I thought, this is not what I want. I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew what I didn't want. And it's the AC and the heat not working, and the water shut off, and the electric shut off. And here I am wanting something. I didn't know what it was, because this is all I had to look off. But I just knew I didn't want to live like this. I didn't want to be angry all the time and sad and broke and depressed and addicted. So what I did was I started working on my mindset, even at a young age. And I'm going to tell you this real quick story when I realized that my mindset is what is going to help me get out of this situation. I was in softball very young. I was in middle school. And I had practice after school, didn't have a ride. So what I would do is I would ride the bus to school, stay all day, get the best grades that I possibly could, and then I would go to practice after school. Now, after all the kids we trained, the parents would come and pick them up, and I would sit there and just cross my fingers that my parents would show up. A couple, they did for the most part. There were those days that they didn't. And the first time they didn't, as a middle school child, with my home being well over 2 miles away, I sat there and I had to make a decision. Now, the next day I could come to school, work my butt off, exhausted, get the grades I needed, and show back up to practice, knowing that I might have to walk home again in the rain. It rained that day. I'll never forget, because that rocked me as a child. That impacted me in ways that I hold to this day. Or I can use my mindset to say, I'm not doing it anymore because I don't want to walk in the rain and this sucks. And I'm going to ride the dry school bus home, because then I'll know I'll get there. But you know what? I still showed up to practice. And I did this, and I do this to this day. It doesn't matter what struggles I face. It doesn't matter what happens to me that gets me down or rocks me or makes me second guess what I'm capable of. I use my mindset to make a decision to continue to show up. Regardless if you know how the hell you're going to get home, you have to show up, because you know what that did? That made me a state champion wrestler out of high school, 9th in the nation, undefeated out of high school. If I would have given up in middle school and said, well, hell, I may not have a ride home, I wouldn't be who I am today, because that state champion high school wrestler, 9th in the nation, ended up joining the Marine Corps at 19 years old. And remember what I said when I started is I looked around and knew what I didn't want, but I didn't know what I wanted because I didn't have the role models I needed. I found that in the United States Marine Corps at 19 years old. I became the only female on the SWAT team, breastfeeding my child at the same time, raising a baby and keeping a marriage, which statistically, I outdid that, because 70% divorce rate, I believe, is what it was when I was in. So I successfully managed to overcome. I got chosen to be on the SWAT team out of men, graduated top of my class, company honor grad, everything, company's highest shooter. And I did all this because I wanted success. That's that, and the second word is success. So you have to use your mindset to figure out what the hell it is that you're gonna do. What decisions are you gonna make in life when you don't have that ride home? When it's raining, then you need to decide what success is to you. Is it money? Is it happiness? Is it something as simple as making sure you have central air and heat in your home and your lights aren't being shut off as you're trying to get ready for work? To me, success was happiness. I didn't want to raise a baby in a home like that. It's sobriety. It's figuring out how I wanted my life to be, regardless of where I came from. That was my success. Find out what your success is. It may be financial. It may be a big house. It may be being famous. Whatever it is, deep down, when you close your eyes and you picture what is success to you, find it. Get the mindset needed to find the success, how you interpret it. And then there's that break the cycle word, because that was another hard thing that I had to do. Now, break the cycle is different for many people. For you, it could be procrastination. It could be making excuses, the lack of accountability. Remember those rainy days that you don't have a ride home and you just give up? It's routine. It could be drug addiction. It could be depression. Whatever cycle that you're on, that you can't seem to get a step up, that you can't seem to rise up to get to that success that you've already mentally put in your mind, that you've already seen. You need to break that cycle. And that's what I had to do. Mine was a family cycle that was deep. That it started with mental health that wasn't taken care of. It started with drug addiction that was ignored and swept under the rug until I lost my father to an overdose 2 months before my WWE tryout. To me, that was breaking the cycle. So what I want to leave for you guys here is it doesn't matter where you come from. It does not matter what cards you were dealt in your life. You take those cards and you play whatever game you want to play. You have that opportunity and that ability. It's all in your mindset. It's all in your success. What you visualize success to be, you figure it out, you find it, and then you break the cycle. Whatever cycle you're stuck in, whatever cycle you were brought up in, it doesn't matter. You create your new cycle and you break the old one. You create a healthy, happy, motivated cycle until you reach that success. Before I leave, today is the Marine Corps birthday, 245 years. So I wanted to send a shout out to my brothers and sisters. Happy freaking birthday, you nasty things. Stay motivated, keep your heads up. And also, happy Veterans Day to all of you who served. Keep kicking butt and taking names. And remember, mindset, success, and break the cycle. Write those down. Get in your head. Figure out that mindset that you need to be in. Envision what success to you is. And then break whatever cycle you're stuck in that is not allowing you to become the man and woman, the mom, the wife, the spouse, the human being that you are capable of and that you want to become. So keep it classy, all you nasty things. I love you all.